Hey everybody, it's Andrew here. This is my third try at making the video. It's just I want to try and get everything over as quick as possible, but as much detail as possible, right? This is basically how to repair the door locks on broken Volkswagen Passats. If your door lock is broken, the internal components usually twist and break after a certain point, but if your door lock is broken, it will do that. It will basically just constantly turn and turn and turn. The keys themselves, when they're in that position, they're only designed to turn as far as that on each angle. You turn them a maximum of 180 degrees either way. Usually what you tend to find is, now I've lost it, this internal little castle here, it usually breaks on these points or cracks there, and this is usually at winter time because the lock freezes and then your keys stiff. So try to avoid that if possible. And what happens is it basically rotates, so there's no way for it to turn the internal components because the jammed, or it just usually falls down your door. The lock is designed like that. These are the actual pins, so whatever you do, don't take this key out. But that's the lock, and what you have is the way it's designed when it's repaired is that fits over like that. You have a spring goes on there. It goes under compression and turns behind this point here. This point pushes down, rests on top of these little pins. You have a locking pin like that. You have a retaining pin which goes over like that, and then you have a locking pin which, like a C-clip, what it does is it locks in this little groove here. What I'd recommend doing, because I've actually found it easier, is if you get this, it may be tight when you first get it. What I would suggest doing is getting it in this little groove and then basically just push it in and out a few times, like as if you're just frosting, because it is round, it's all one way. So just push it in, and then eventually it gets slack. It doesn't matter if it's slack, because what happens is the spring pushes it up like that. So what you do is I'll just cut it in a few times by pushing it in and out like that. And then what that does, that's going to make it easier when it comes to insertion point, because it does have pressure on it as well. So that's ready to go. That's that ready. I'll just put that down quickly. You have to put this part back in. That's just a little barrel bit. What there's a little notch there, although you can't see it in here. There's a little notch around here, that bit there. And what it does, it fits inside. If you look inside the little barrel, there's a notch down there as well. You can't see it, but you'll easily spot it. It's basically, if you look at the curved end here, there's a little notch. Where are we at? There's a little notch right there. So it's on this side here. There's a little notch at the top, and just aligns with that peg and pushes down. So we'll get that down. What I'm going to do is describe the technique I use to repair it, and then I'll change the camera focus so you can actually see the detailed part I'm referring to. So that's that lock barrel back in. So the way I repair it is, obviously you put your, where's my bloody thing gone? You put your castle in first. It goes over this part of the barrel that I described. So that goes in like that. We'll just push it in. Obviously this part may come out the top. I'll just tell you, this is part of your toolkit when you're fixing these, by the way. So we'll take that out. The problem is what you're going to get if when you're repairing these is if you pull the key out, you're probably going to lose all the little pins which hold this in place, and then you're pretty much stuffed because you've got to put them back in again or buy a new barrel. The reason why you do this to repair it is because Volkswagen, I believe, charge you, they don't actually repair it, they just charge you for a new lock and barrel, and then they have to recode it to your car, which some people said they cost upwards of about £180. I think an alternative way of doing this might be a case of you'd have to get the entire this entire barrel bit here, which the way you take it out is you just loosen a torque screw. What you could do is you could, I think, take out this barrel and then use a VAGCOM to recode it to your car. That might do it that way, but I've never tried it, so I couldn't know. But this way is you basically buy a kit for about £15 from eBay. Comes with the paddle, the castle, the little clip, and the retaining clip, and then comes with the spring as well, like them. And basically £15, do it yourself and save yourself some money. What am I doing next is just show you the technique. So when I put them in, because the spring is got to be turned around the castle bit, I do a sort of technique. I use a thin bladed screwdriver, and then I do like an apple technique where if you imagine peeling an apple, you put your finger up. I'm holding it in this hand because I'm right-handed. Hold it like that, and then I'm holding it round. I'm basically pulling it slowly like that. I'm doing that sort of action to get the spring behind, because I've used my nails before and it usually springs round and gets your nails, which really hurts like a bastard. So I'll go on with the repair. I'll change it out of focus now, and then I'll do it so you can see it. So I'll get the components ready. Just get the focus right. I want to get the focus on these components so you can actually see how they're constructed as well. So as you can see, you've got your little key there with the groove. As you can see, so there's your little groove where the locking pin goes inside. Right, that's your groove for your locking pin there. And then what you have is, you can also see there, where we at? You can see it's like there's the barrel there. Now what you do is you insert this castle clip, you insert the castle here. You want to put it onto the little, what there is, there's little grooves in it like that, which match up with which match up with the little ones there. You can see it, those little grooves there. So what it does is it pops over that, so then fits over them like that. And then what you do is you have to rotate it so this little alignment pin here is at opposite side of this one here. So we put that in place. Now next point is I'm going to put the spring in. You might find it easier to use your original spring on this as well. So you can see when I find my orientation here. Right, so you can see that pin's in place now, or rather that way. So you can see there's a spring down this bit here. This part of the top here has to be rotated all the way around to, it's better with my screwdriver. This part of the top here has to be rotated all the way around with the apple coring technique behind this one here, behind that one there. So that's why you have to do it. So what I'm going to do is use my apple coring technique. Then what I'm going to do is put pressure on, and these little pins here, see these little gaps, they line up with and I take that off. What they do is they go on and then they fit behind like that. You can see them like that. So they only fit one way, and then that way they then lock in place. That's why you need to have it behind it so it locks it in place. So what we do now is we find my spring what I just lost. So that goes in there. I'm going to hopefully get this done within half an hour to try and save the video length. So I'll alter the focus again. As you can see, my proud employees. This is the technique I use. I tend to hold it. I tend to get it so that the little notch there, I tend to get so that notch is facing me. So put that in place. Put your spring in. And what I'm doing is I'm getting the alignment holes. I'm getting these the right orientation, so when I turn it on, I'm getting these to the right orientation so I can turn it and push it straight down. So we now use my apple coring technique. I hold the edge of the little metal spring on hold the edge of the little spring. Now I'm pulling it and putting pressure on this little thing at the same time. So that's got that first go, so I'm actually behind there. So that's there. And what you do, you got to keep this push down, pressure, keep it hold down, otherwise you'll lose it. That then pushes in between there. And then this, hopefully it'll go on straight away this time. Probably won't, but it might be worth a try. And that one didn't go in, like a swine. So what we'll do, put that there, get the spring behind it again, get the orientation right. My famous apple coring technique, so I'll grab it with my thumb. So that's on there. This then lines up with a notch on here. And what I'm going to try and do is push this little C-clip over these. You got to push this down really hard, otherwise it's a fucking nightmare. You may find this hurts your finger as well when you do it. I'm just trying it because I think I might have my technique the wrong way around. We'll just try it again. So what I'm doing now is I'm facing a little notch on the castle. I'm putting it in the same notch as this side. I haven't done this for a while, so I'm not 100% sure if it's the right way or not. I'm just trying it, see if it's any different. I'll get my orientation on this right. So apple cord behind the spring. Give it a little Right, so I've got that held in place, even though it is rather painful. So now that goes round, just find the little alignment notch. Stabbed myself in the finger. No, I'm definitely right, that does go one way. For some reason this is a little bit tight again, so I'm just going to give it a bit more encouragement with this. So I'll end this video and make this video part 1, because it's ended 15 minutes, so I'll see you in part 2.